This is the second short video in our Tai Chi Classics series, where we will attempt to help you decipher the cryptic meaning of the traditional Tai Chi Classics via simple visual examples that you can easily follow to help improve your Tai Chi training. The Tai Chi Classics are the DNA of the art, containing all the guidance and traditional philosophical concepts of the art. They also contain a wealth of technical, tactical and strategic guidance, all using the yin and yang Tai Chi paradigm throughout. There's also some excellent general training guidance and advice which you can use in your regular practice, which will set you a more direct course to achieve far better Tai Chi skills. This second classic, like the first in the series, comes from Song Shumin and was also reprinted word for word in the Tai Chi historian Wu Tunan in his book on Wu style Tai Chi training. This second classic is actually shorter than the first, but the points made are extremely useful, so try to understand them and use them in your training and see what happens. Once there is any movement, your entire body must be aware and alert. There especially needs to be connection from movement to movement. Developing high quality movements is a fundamental priority in Tai Chi training, whether you're practicing solo or with a partner. During solo practice, particularly if we are practicing the movements and techniques somewhat slowly, we can attend to the smaller details. Becoming aware and alert is also translated as lightness and agility. So in our training, we should try to cultivate a feeling of being alert, light, and sensitively agile, as opposed to being heavy, clunky, and feeling like you're stuck in the mud, as some people have described low quality movement. Again, this light, agile, sensitive type of movement quality should be incorporated into all of your training. So that applies to your solo training, grappling training, partner work. Energy should be roused and the spirit should be collected within. This statement is often translated as Qi should be roused and Shen should be collected or internally hoarded. Qi can mean breath. It can also mean awareness or proprioception, which is basically our ability to feel our own body relevant to the external world. Shen usually refers to the spirit or the mind. So in this phrase, we're being advised to create lively movements in training, as well as being very aware of our own body in time and space, whilst harnessing the concentration and awareness and allowing it to become completely present and focused on our own training and what we're doing right now, rather than allowing it to expand to external thoughts and factors that aren't relevant to our current training. Do not allow there to be cracks or gaps anywhere, pits or protrusions anywhere, breaks in the flow anywhere. Again, here we are being given excellent advice on making our movements and techniques better and better. A lot of people may only consider these statements from the perspective of solo training, but in actuality, one of the major goals of Tai Chi solo training is to enhance your skill and coordination for partner training and equipment training also. So we should also always be looking to transfer this technical awareness across all the different training activities in the art. When looking at good quality Tai Chi movements, you will notice a kind of roundness to the postures, as well as a type of geometry in the physical frame that's primed for supporting oncoming forces from an opponent, but also one that can issue forces in all directions very powerfully and efficiently. So in traditional Tai Chi parlance, this is achieved by training so that there are no obvious gaps or cracks in the shape. Pits slits or protrusions. These are the old terms used to describe the deficiencies in your postures. So as you train, you should try to get a better idea of what these shapes are, the strong shapes, and this is going to be informed by other types of training that you do with a partner, where you actually feel resistance. So you develop an awareness for what are the better quality shapes, and then in your solo training you try to mimic these and create these, and then you bring them across to your partner work, so it becomes a virtuous circle. Starting from your foot, issue through your leg, directing it at your waist and expressing it at your fingers. From foot through leg through waist, it must be a fully continuous process, and whether advancing or retreating, you will then catch the opportunity and gain the upper hand. If not, and your body easily falls into disorder. The problem must be in your waist and legs, so look for it there. This is always so, regardless of the direction of the movement, be it up, down, forward, back, left or right. In all of these cases, the problem is a matter of your intent and does not lie outside of you. Tai Chi Body Mechanics are concerned with maintaining perfect balance and allowing for subtle neutralization, movement, attacking and evasive skills, as well as to facilitate maximal power development. The foot is logically seen as the root of your structure. Therefore, foot contact quality should be studied and trained in all postures and positions. The legs have strong and powerful muscles, and with the right type of training, very elastic connective tissue, which makes the legs the ideal choice to be your main source of power generation. The waist can amplify this power by rotation, flexion, and also through hip extension. All these skills are trained on a daily basis in the Tai Chi Neigong internal strength exercises. They can also be trained in your forms practice, as well as in all your partner work, pad work, equipment work, and so on. So this power that you generate from the ground up is then expressed through the fingers, or the hands, but in the classics they write the fingers. So they're mentioned here, and you'll notice that skilled internal martial artists often extend the fingers in all their postures, which may allow for additional release of stored elastic energy and create greater postural strength. Being able to do this in conjunction with moving footwork in all directions is essential, and is one of the reasons that the earlier versions of the Tai Chi art was simply known as the 13 dynamics. 5 of these dynamics were simply the movement directions, so emphasizing the need for you to develop skill in moving forward, back, left, right, and being perfectly centered and balanced. The advice to look for disorder in the legwork and footwork is solid gold, as in my experience this is an area that I see most Tai Chi people struggle with, i.e. the ability to move smoothly in all the directions whilst maintaining excellent posture and balance. I often see them having very good stances and postures, but simply lacking the ability to move freely in all the different directions, which is where a lot of the traditional 7-star step, 9-palace step, dalu, pushing hands exercises begin the process of teaching you how to move in all these different directions. But then you need to take it further and implement all these footwork patterns in all your other partner work drills too. Whether upwards comes a downwards, whether forwards comes a backwards, and with a left comes a right. If your intention wants to go upwards, then harbour a downwards intention, like when you reach down to lift up an object. You thereby add a setback to the opponent's own intention, thus he cuts his own route and is defeated quickly and certainly. This section is advising students to learn and study duality, as well as to train it and embody it. We have power generating duality in our movements to be studied and trained, such as using elastic pseudo-plyometric ground reaction forces when striking upwards or even forwards. we must also consider duality regarding the opponent's intent and train it to use that to our advantage. So for example, if you want to push someone to the right, you first apply a left directed force through their center of mass, which they have to oppose to maintain balance. Once you feel this opposition, you simply use that and add your own force to that direction and go in the originally intended direction. So up and down, forward and back, all work like this, but the skill needs to be regularly trained and consciously trained to make it a natural part of your Tai Chi expression. Empty and full must be distinguished clearly. In each part, there is a part that is empty and a part that is full. Everywhere, it is always like this, an emptiness and a fullness. Again, here we have more Tai Chi duality to be pondered and explored. When we train, we can become more aware of the flexion and extension of our various joint systems, the stretching and contracting of various muscles and connective tissues, the fullness and emptiness of our weight distribution. All of this type of training can help us to more thoroughly connect with and master our movements and techniques. In terms of fighting techniques, no matter what position we are in, there are opportunities, threats, strengths, and weaknesses which we should become highly attuned to. This will be relative to our posture and its positioning relative to that of an opponent. Also, their physical frame, posture, and mindset or intent will also have these dualities, which we can better understand and then use to our advantage. Throughout your body, as the movement goes from one section to another, there has to be connection. Do not allow the slightest break in the connection. This point is similar to the one earlier, reinforcing our focus on training very high quality total body movement that is complete and without imperfection. So it's a very simple point to sum up this classic. So hopefully this classic has been useful for you. Again, I found it incredibly useful over the years to try and implement the ideas and concepts in it in my actual training, and it's definitely been transformative and helped me to improve my standards and to continue to improve my standards. So if you've enjoyed the content and would like to get more, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. It's very helpful. And if you're interested in online learning or in-person learning, check out my website www.neilrosiak.com. Thank you.